Alright, let's look at reykjavik now. I mean, this is the next level. Things kind of start getting a little more complex this time. So again, before we start discussing the hints, if you are not familiar with basic debugging a program, I would definitely like to take this opportunity to remind you, go and read some tutorials, go and look at some videos, whatever way you learn best. Understand at least basic debugging, stepping in, stepping out, returning, and all of that stuff, and then come back here. It's just easier. You can learn it straight off here, but my opinion, I mean, do a little bit of that before come here. Makes things easier, especially on the later levels. So of course, as usual, you study the flow of the program. You see there's a call to ANC, and then this call to 0x2400. So if you look at the code right there, see this call to ANC here, this call to main somewhere, and inside main you see the call to ENC. ENC is doing something here. You need to find out. And ENC, by its name, it sounds like it's encrypting something. So I would, the way I kind of tend to do it if I don't know what a function really does is either in a normal binary you would have idapro outside. Idapro is basically a disassembler, so you could throw the binary into idapro and it would give you a complete listing, a graphical listing of what function called what, from where. But here we don't have any of that. We just have this debugger. So the best way to do that is to just click on one of those instructions right there, right at the start of ENC, set a breakpoint there, and just run continue there, and it'll come and break there. And then you can go instruction by instruction, little by little, and it highlights the red thing right there, saying that you're going from it. And at that time you can study the state of the register, seeing what instructions are getting copied, what kind of data is getting copied from where to where. So I would definitely go through ENC and see where is data getting read from, where is data getting written to. And I'd also keep an eye out for this bit right down here, which says the live memory dump right down here. And see, as I step through various instructions inside ENC, is data inside the live memory dump actually changing? Because that's a good hint to where ENC is kind of talking to, means reading from or writing to, or that kind of stuff. So that's definitely something that's going to be useful in this place. Then there's a call to 2400, right? See this? But what's 2400? If you look at the code right here, if you scroll through this entire all of this disassembly here, you see all the addresses kind of start with 4, 5 or 4, 4. So there's no 2400 address either. And I say call 2400, basically says jump to that particular address, in this case 2400. Let's kind of look at where that call is actually, make things a little clearer. There you go. So you have this call 2400 right here, right? So the previous one was 4486 ENC. So you scrolled down, you found ENC, but you didn't find 2400. So where is 2400? You figure that out. If it's not here, how do you actually debug it at all? Think of a scenario where you got infected by some kind of malware which never copied itself onto your disk, but it kind of ran as long as you were logged in. But the moment you rebooted and you logged back in, you found that the malware is gone, and there wasn't a single trace of the malware on your disk. So where was the malware kind of running from? And in case you wanted to infect yourself again, just to study what the malware is doing, how would you actually do that? Because if there's no file on disk at all, how are you gonna understand what the malware does? Kind of think of that a little bit and try and apply the same techniques here and kind of map 2400, the address 2400, to what we just discussed, and you'll be pretty close to finding out what to do. The other thing that I would definitely do is to definitely take a look at this page here. It's linked to from the main page, microcorruption.com/assembler. See what it does. I don't want to talk too much about it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but go on there, play around with it, see how it works. And maybe there's some stuff in this level that can get solved much more easily if you use this page kind of well. If you solve all of that, then the last question is really one of our older questions, as I've highlighted here. Again, it prompts you for a password. Again, you enter something in. Where does that input go? What instructions actually use it? How do they use it? So if you go through that Go through all of these hints, go and answer each of these questions for yourself. And it's probably a good idea to get familiarized with assembly instructions right now. I would go back and do that as well if you're still not comfortable. Not too much, but at least the basic stuff, the moves and the pops and the returns and the really basic stuff that's there in pretty much every program. Go get yourself familiarized with that, do a little bit of debugging, and then come back and try this. If you haven't already figured out what I'm talking about, you will definitely get it after you go through all of this and get your basics right. All the very best. Thanks, bye.